some brain will be like this. Okay, so this is human brain. So what is happening here? It has nerve cells called as neurons. Okay, so they are very infinite number. Okay, so these are like different microfiber. Okay, and here what is happening? You'll be having a different neurons. Okay, so suppose these are the different neurons you'll be having. Okay, and those neurons మీ brain లో ఎన్ని neurons ఉంటాయో అది మీకు తెలియదు. So there will be infinite number of neurons. Okay, and here the neurons are connected with particular connection that is called as axon. So here the neurons all will be connected at one place, that is called as axons. Again the neurons are connected to one more axon. So in this way there will be connection between neurons and axon. So now what is happening here? Neurons are connected at one point. That particular point is called as axon. Again axon is connected to another neurons, and again there you'll be getting one more connection that is called as again axon. So in this way it consists of different neurons and axons. Your brain is consists of different neurons and axons here, and this interconnection of different axons takes place at one place, that is called as dendrite. Okay, and there will be one more connection in between the point between axon and dendroid, that is called as synapse. And in this way your in this way the human brain will work. So based upon the synapse, it catches the request and responses. Okay, so synapse will always think. It will take the request and it will give the response also. So here neurons are also called as units. So in our terminology, in artificial neural network terminology, neurons are called as units. Okay, so now your human brain will consist of different types of neurons. So these are all neurons you will be having, and different neurons are connected at one place. So that particular connection where the neurons has been connected, that is called as axon. And again the neurons are connected at axon. So in this way it is there will be connection between neurons and axon. Okay, and this interconnection of different axons takes place at one place, so that is called as dendrite. Okay, and there will be connection between axon and dendrite, that is called as synapse. Okay, and in this way what is happening, and here the synapse will take the request and responses of different data. Okay, so if any person is telling to us, so what the synapse will say, oh this is this, so it will take the request, and what will happen, that will tell to speak something. So what we will do, we will tell something to that particular person. So in this way synapse will take the request and it will respond to that. Okay, so in artificial neural network terminology, what are the neurons which are there? That is called as units. Okay, so here we come across different units, or it is also called as nodes. Okay, so artificial neural network is interconnection of assembly of nodes of different types with their structure by using the directed link. Okay, so this is the introduction regarding artificial neural network. So here the human brain, for example, it is estimated to contain a densely interconnected network of approximately 10 to power of 11 neurons, and each connected on average to 10 to power of 4 others. So in this way, one neuron is connected to another neuron with the connection of axons. Okay, axons. Now, neuron activity is typically excited or inhibited through connections to other neurons. And the fastest neuron switching times are known to be on the order of 10 to power of minus 3 seconds. So it is so quite slow compared to computer switching speed. That is, the computer speed is nothing but 10 to power of minus 10 seconds. Okay, so in this way the computer thinks more faster than our brain. So one motivation for artificial neural network system is to capture kindly of highly parallel computation based on the distributed representations. So here artificial neural network has inspired in part by the observation that biological learning systems are built of very complex webs of interconnected neurons. As I have told you will be having different types of neurons, and those neurons are connected with one connection that is called as axon, and the different neurons and axons, those are again connected to dendrite. Okay, now artificial neural networks are built of densely interconnected, that is a set of simple units, what I have told you, that is nothing but neurons. Here uh, we will be calling it as units. The neurons are called as units here. So where each unit takes a number of real valued inputs and produces single real valued output. It takes real value input and it produces single value. It will take multiple values and it will produce single value. Okay. And historically, two groups of researchers have worked with artificial networks. One group has motivated that the goal of using artificial network to study and model biological learning process, and one more group has been motivated by goal of obtaining highly effective machine learning algorithms which are independent of whether these algorithms are mirror biological process or not. So here you can see, so this is your human brain. Okay, so what is happening? Different neurons are connected to one cell body that is called as axon, and again from axon it is connected to different neurons here. Here you can see. Okay, so in this way the neurons are connected to axon, and again axon are connected with the different neurons to form axon here. Okay, there you will be getting dendrite. So this is about introduction part. So now ఇప్పటిదాకా నేను ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాను. So that is nothing but investigation example. So now if you see here, what I have told you, you will be having different team persons, different persons are there in that team. Okay, so take those persons here. Now those persons are connected with one particular person, is called as captain. Okay, so he will produce some output here. So now what has happened, these persons has taken different data from the output. These are all inputs, and these inputs are given to the person, and that person has produces some output. Investigation what he has finalized that which particular person has did the murder or some crime or something else. Okay, so in this way we will generate the neural networks, artificial neural networks. Now brain contains lot of neurons, and every neuron will work with 5 volts of current. Okay, so when we think that particular neuron, that will be activated. So here take one problem. Example ఏంటి అని అంటే one person will come to you and say hello. Okay, so ఒక person వచ్చి మీ దగ్గరికి వచ్చి hello అని చెప్పాడు. Now what you do, you think ఎవరా person. Okay, ఆ person SSC friend. Okay, SSC friend, inter friend. Okay, then మీ neighbor, your neighbor, or he is your relative, or your college mate. So what is happening? Your brain will think in this way. Who is he? Whether he is related to SSC friend, or he is related to inter friend, or he is my neighbor, or he is relative, or he is college mate. Here what is happening? Whatever the data which is there, that is different. Okay, so the data will be different. So based upon the analysis, what will happen? We will come to the conclusion. So we will think again and again, and we will get one conclusion. Oh, either he is related to neighbor or college mate. Okay, so now what is happening? You will get conclusion. So with this conclusion, something has been done here. So that is nothing but biasing. So based upon the bias, it gives us the information. So where the biasing is done? The biasing is done in neighbors and college mate. Neighbors and college mate. So now what has happened? To this particular input, some weight has been given. Either it is 0.1 or 2 or something else. 0.3. So likewise. So for other inputs, you will be giving 0.1, 0.001 or 0.002, likewise. So whatever the input which are there, to that input you will apply some weights here. Okay, to get the accurate result. And here some inputs will be given the highest weight. With that, what will happen? Whatever the output which is there, that will be adjusted, and you will get the output here. So here the inputs, whatever the inputs which are there, that will be summed here with summation. Then you will be getting the output. So what is happening based upon your analysis? What is happening here? You are getting some output. So మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? ఆ పర్సన్ ఎవరు అవన్నీ థింక్ చేస్తున్నారు మీరు. ఓకే, సో వచ్చి చెప్పంగానే న్యూరాన్స్ యాక్టివేట్ అయ్యి మీకు చెప్తుంది. సో ఒక్కొక్క న్యూరాన్ ఒక్కొక్కలాగా థింక్ చేస్తుంది. థింక్ చేసి at some place, at some time, you will get strike. Oh, he is this friend. So this is neural networks. Okay. So this is neural network. So what we are doing here, we are giving different types of input signals. Input signals like x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. So these are nothing but input values. Whatever the values which are there, whatever the data set which we will take, that is given as input values. So input values is nothing but whatever the attributes మీ డేటా సెట్ లో ఏవైతే అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ ఉంటున్నాయో ఆ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ ని మీరు ఇన్పుట్ వాల్యూస్ గా ఇస్తున్నారు. సో యు ఆర్ గివింగ్ యాజ్ ఇన్పుట్ వాల్యూస్. Again, to this input value you will be adding some weights. Those weights are called as synaptic weights. Again, these weights are summed at one junction, so that is called as summing junction. At summing junction, what you will do, you will add the biasing function, that is bk. With that, some activation function will be activated, then you will get output. So this is neural networks. So here you can see, so before going to representation, just I want to tell you one more thing. So here you're having some data set. So this is your data set. You are having different variables like x1, this is x2, this is x3, and this is y. Okay, so you don't have this column, just remove that. So x1, x2, x3 and y value. Okay, so x1 value will be something 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Next 1, 0, 1, 1. Now 1, 1, 0, 1. Again you will have 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, next 0, 0, 1, minus 1. Next 0, 1, 0, minus 1. So likewise you are having some data. So this is your data set you are having. So in this you are having three attributes. What are those? x1, x2 and x3. One class label, that is y. Okay, so here it takes two values, that is ones and zeros. Whatever the data set which is there, that is converted into Boolean function. Okay, and here the data set is converted into standard format, and we are getting the standard format as ones and zeros here. Why? Because the system, the computer will know only 1 and 0. It will means it understands only the machine learning, I mean not it understands about ones and zeros. Okay, so whatever the data which is there, that will be converted into ones and zeros. Now if we have output as -1, that is nothing but the attributes, we have two zeros in that particular row. Okay, it assumes in that way. Okay, so don't worry. So this is your data set. In this data set you are having three attributes. One is class label. Okay, so now what you are doing, you are constructing artificial neural network. And here artificial neural network is also called as perceptron. Perceptron. Okay, now how you are going to construct that? That is nothing but how many attributes you are having? x1, x2, x3. So these are input variables. So that is x1, this is x2 and this is x3. So now to get this it is summed. You'll be using summation, and then you will get y cap. Y cap is your output. And whatever the inputs which are there, these are called as nodes or units. Okay, and you will be adding some weight here, that is 0 0.3, 0 0.3, 0 0.3. You can use same weight also for all the input values. Okay, and you are adding some bias function. So this is bias, and that is represented with t, that is equal to some biasing value with 0 0.4. You can take any value, any biasing value according to your data set. Okay, and then you will get the y cap. So what is the use of weights here? So weights are represented to strength the neural connection. To get the strength to the input values or neural connections or neurons, you will be using weights here. Okay, so in this way you will be representing the artificial neural network. So for this you will be generating different types of functions. So how the output will be for that particular data set? The output is y cap of 1 and -1. So why? Because in your output only 1 and -1 is there. Class label lo 1 -1 మాత్రమే ఉంది. So అది మనం తీసుకుంటున్నాం ఇక్కడ. So y cap is your output, and what are the outputs here? 1 and -1. So how it is generated? 0 0.3 x1 plus 0 0.3 x2 plus 0 0.3 x3 minus t, which is greater than 0. That is for 1. And one more output you will get, that is 0 0.3 x1 plus 0 0.3 x2 plus 0 0.3 x3 minus t less than 0. So likewise you will be getting different types of outputs for your data set. So again this can be written in more generalized way. So how? So that is nothing but y cap is equal to sine of wt is nothing but your weight, xd is nothing but your input value, plus w is another weight, d minus 1, x of d minus 1, plus so on, plus w1 x1, so likewise minus t. This is more generalized way. So what is sine here? Sine is nothing but your activation function. So which will activate the neural networks or perceptron model. Again this can be more generalized here. That is nothing but y cap is equal to sine of w dot d. W dot d. So what is dot here? Dot is nothing but it is the product of weight vectors and input vectors. Weight vectors ante మనం ఏదైతే weight values ఇస్తున్నామో అది, and input values ఏవైతే ఇస్తున్నామో అవి. W values, X values. W values అంటే weight values, X values ante input values. Okay, so dot is used for dot product of weight vectors and input vectors. So this is about your artificial neural network. And here simple model of artificial neural network we have in is perceptron, and perceptron is we will be having two types of perceptron model. That is nothing but one is single layer perceptron, second one is multi-layer perceptron. Okay, so till now what we have seen, that is single layer. What is that single layer? Single layer అంటే ఏంటి అంటే inputs ఉంటాయి, you will have inputs, to that weights will be added, it is summed, and you will be getting the output here, that is y cap. So this is x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. So these are input values. With this you will be giving the weight. These are weights. With this it will be summed and we will be getting the y cap, that is output. So this is your single layer perceptron. You'll be having one more layer, one more method, that is multi-layer. Okay, so what is multi-layer? This is your input values. Here weights are assigned, and again you will be having one more layer here, and from here you will be getting the output. Okay, so whatever the values will be there, that will be connected to all the nodes here. So this is one layer, this is one layer, and this is second layer. So likewise you'll be having more than one. So this is called as multi-layer. And whatever the layer in second layer you'll be having, this is called as hidden layer. Okay, so దీనికి మంచి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటి అని అంటే, you are going to shop and you are buying rice, బియ్యం కొంటున్నారు. Okay, so how you are getting that rice? బియ్యం ఎట్లా వస్తుంది? ఏం చేస్తారు? ఫస్ట్ వడ్లది పొట్టు తీస్తారు, పొట్టంతా చెరుగుతారు. Again what they will do? They will polish it and they will pack into bags. So getting the rice from వడ్ల గింజల నుంచి వెళ్ళి రైస్ వచ్చేదాకా ఏదైతే ప్రాసెస్ ఉందో, that is hidden here. So that is called as hidden layer. So the process which has been done internally, so that is called as hidden layer. So what is happening here means, whatever the input value which we give, that with that value the weights are given, and with that in hidden layer it will adjust itself, it will process itself, and it gives us output, that is y cap or output. So this is called as multi-layer perceptron. Okay, and here when we are giving the input layer, in that input layer the neurons, the input values which are there, the input neurons which are there, in that neurons some neurons will be given some high weightage. ఇంతకుముందు నేను చెప్పినట్టు కొన్ని న్యూరాన్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఆ న్యూరాన్స్ కి మనం ఎక్కువ వెయిటేజ్ ఇస్తాం. ఆ వెయిటేజ్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, మనకి అవుట్పుట్ అనేది అడ్జస్ట్ అయ్యి అవుట్పుట్ అక్యురేట్ గా వస్తుంది. ఓకే, అండ్ దానికి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటి అని అంటే, గెటింగ్ లోన్. ఓకే, సో నేను బ్యాంక్ వెళ్ళి లోన్ అప్లై చేశాను, సో నా డీటెయిల్స్ బట్టి నాకు లోన్ వస్తుంది. మీరు వెళ్ళి అప్లై చేశారు, మీకు లోన్ రాదు. అంటే ఏంటి ఇక్కడ? ఏజ్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్, the weightage has been given to the age here. According to the age you will get. Okay, and ఇంకో మంచి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటంటే ఇంటర్వ్యూస్. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో ఏమవుతుంది, అకార్డింగ్ టు యువర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ వెయిటేజ్ ఈస్ గివెన్. సో ఏంటి పోగానే మిమ్మల్ని ఏమని అడుగుతారు, ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఎంత, ఎంత ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది మీకు, మీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఎంత, ఇట్లా అడుగుతారు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ హియర్, వెయిటేజ్ ఈస్ గివెన్ టు ద ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ క్యాండిడేట్స్. So likewise, whenever, every time when we are giving the input values, some neurons will be given some weightage. With that, the data will be, the process will be adjust according to that, and we will get the output here. So this is the introduction related to artificial networks, and in this way we are going to represent the neural networks. The diagram which you are seeing, that is the representation of neural networks. Yeah guys, any doubts regarding anything? Any doubts regarding anything, guys? So this is about neural networks. Yeah, so the remaining things we will see in the next class. Yeah, Sandeep or anybody, take the screenshot. When you complete once, just tell them to leave. Is it okay, Sandeep or anybody? Sandeep,
Yes,
is it okay?
yes, ma'am.
Okay then.
Done, ma'am. I've taken the screenshots.